Hi friends, this is the presentation for our e-commerce website. I am Richa Mishra.
I'm Shamal Devre.
I'm Ashwini Patil.
And Saket.
The technologies used in our application are we have used Node.js with Express framework as an application server. The NoSQL database uses MongoDB. We have used Elasticsearch as a search system for textual search. Microsoft Azure is our cloud architecture. For storing images, we have used Cloudinary as an CDN. The cache system which we have used is Redis cache. And our virtual machine or the operating system is Ubuntu 14.0. This is the architecture of our application. The customer will log in into our website and the images will be displayed to the customer via Cloudinary. Cloudinary is connected to the application, which includes Express framework and HTML5, CSS, JavaScript, JQuery as the front end. Node.js is the application server. Application is connected to Azure Redis cache for leveraging the application level caching. The product catalog has been stored in MongoDB, which is deployed on Ubuntu virtual machine. For search engine, we are leveraging Elasticsearch service, which is deployed on Ubuntu virtual machine. The complete application and all the resources are provided by Microsoft Azure Cloud. Now, this is the product catalog stored in MongoDB. The document structure looks like this, which has following attributes such as product ID, description of product, name, category, rating, brand, and various variants and facets for filtering the search products. The image which we have brought here are through Cloudinary. This is the Elasticsearch script for creating indexes on our data.
So this is the live website hosted on Microsoft Azure account. For this I have created a virtual machine in my Microsoft Azure account. That's VM Ubuntu, which is hosted via this IP address. I have installed MongoDB and Elasticsearch in this virtual machine. So let's connect to this virtual machine via Putty and quickly check the data hosted in Elasticsearch and MongoDB. So let's check the indexes that we have created. So products is the indexes that we have created on our data on product catalog. We'll check the search indexing. So it looks like this, and let's quickly check the count of the data in the Elasticsearch. So we have data, and let's look at the data. So this is the few data which is visible here. So we see that we have hosted like ID, description, name, category, rating, brand, prices, on which the textual search will happen through our search engine. Let's connect to Mongo client again via this Putty. So I have logged into MongoDB shell, and let's see the collections that we have created. So e-commerce is the collection that we'll be using in our website. So let's use e-commerce and quickly check the data entered. So db products.find, enter, and this is the set of data document which has been entered in MongoDB e-commerce collection. So our applications, that is Elasticsearch and MongoDB, is up and running in our Ubuntu machine. Now we need to open the port for connecting from our application service to these services, that is Elasticsearch and MongoDB. So let's check. This is the network security group which we have created, and we can see that we have opened the ports, that is Mongo port and Elasticsearch port at port number 27017 for MongoDB and a port range of 9200 to 9300 for Elasticsearch. So we'll be using these ports from our Node.js application to connect to these services installed in VM machine. So let's go to our application, which is deployed here as ShopDeal site URL, and it is connected to GitHub account. This is my GitHub account where I have checked in all the code necessary for the application. So as soon as I commit any changes in my GitHub, it gets reflected automatically in my Azure ShopDeal app service. So let's quickly click on the URL to check the website. So this is the home page of our e-commerce website, which is deployed on Azure. We can see the URL here. The start of any Node.js application is server.js. So this is the code where we are using Express framework for creating the application. So this is how we initialize and access the Express module. And then as mentioned, for caching, application level caching, we are using Redis. So Redis is, we are using the Redis which has been provided by Microsoft Azure. Let's go here, and this is my Redis cache, which is named as ShopDeal. So this is the host name, and we have the keys to connect to the Redis cache. So let's go back to server.js, and we are connecting to Redis and creating a Redis client. And then we are creating a client to connect to the Elasticsearch. So we are given the IP address of our VM Ubuntu machine and the port which we opened in the network interfaces. This is just a plain code for checking if the Elasticsearch is available. Here we are configuring this different modules which will be used in our Node.js application. This is the code for exception handling. And now we want our Node.js application to connect to MongoDB to fetch data of the product catalog. So we are connecting to the database URL and the collections which we created. Using a MongoJS module, we are connecting to the MongoJS client. This is the code for initializing the CDN network. We are using the Cloudinary network here. So this is my Cloudinary account, where these are the details which will be used to connect to this account, and these are the images which we have hosted. So we'll be using these images in our application so that we leverage the content delivery network. So let's go and see how we do that. So after configuring the Cloudinary image and doing this configuration, then we have created the Redis client on our plane. Now let's go and search an item that we want to buy from our shopping website. So let's say we want to buy shirt. So this is the textual search that is happening via Elasticsearch. So these are the data that has been entered in the Elasticsearch and indexed. So we are fetching the data from there. So this is the list of data. Let's quickly check the console in our Azure website, and we see the Elasticsearch results that have been received from the Elasticsearch, where it is using the shards and then evaluating a score for each match. And this is the JSON object that has been returned, the list of JSON objects that matched our textual search, so which is displayed here. So let's go back to the code which is making this possible. So in our home.html, once we click enter in the search box, the form is submitted through process_get URL, which comes here, matches here. So this is a basic code of creating an application level cache. So we created a Redis key and then we are retrieving it from the Redis client. So if we go here and see, we can see that we are getting the Redis cache application level object here. And now the search item has been retrieved from the text box and is passed to the Elasticsearch client. This is the query, which is matching the results from the indexes that we created called products, and then we are iterating over the results to display it in our home.html. So this is how we are getting these results. Now we are using MongoDB data to fetch results in a detailed format for any selection of this product. So let's say I want to look at this Puma round neck cotton t-shirt. I click here, and this is the page that is getting loaded via MongoDB data. So the code for this is here. So on the click of the URL, I'm creating a MongoDB connection and fetching this data through the product ID. So we can see in our application logs that it is calling MongoDB and then it is connecting to MongoDB and fetching this whole set of data for displaying the details of the product that we selected. The code for it is written here, where on the URL load product, which is this with the product ID, we are calling a query on MongoDB like db products find with ID which has been selected, and then we are connecting to MongoDB via MongoDB client and retrieving the JSON object, and then we are passing this object to our product underscore description.html to display the page like this. Now considering that we are using content delivery network, check the images that has been hosted in our application throughout has been retrieved from a Cloudinary network. So sources, we go and we see that in the cloudinary.com, these are the images that we are using. So every image that has been displayed in our web page has been received from Cloudinary account. So let's go here and check all these images which we are getting from Cloudinary account. So this is how our whole website is working using all the big data technologies and the textual search. Now I say I want to just search like shirt and polo, and it does the search. It matches the textual search wherever it is written, and it gives us the results of only polo and shirts. Please make note that our website is available online at shopdeal.azurewebsites.net.
And source code at my GitHub repository. Thank you.